There's a Politico scoop last year that talked about Norinco on here, one of the defense industrial corporations that was supplying assault rifles and body armor to the Russians for their invasion in Ukraine. So, you know, the bottom line is Chinese grand strategy happens through corporations. That's the important thing to understand. I mean, this isn't just about macroeconomics or military. I mean, it's literally companies that you can identify, companies that you could target, companies that you could take out if you were serious. And this is just a small section of the list, and actual capital flows into the general Chinese economy, all of which is essentially linked to the CCP and its grand strategic designs, are in the hundreds of billions each year. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, I used CNOOC as one of the examples in China's Vision of Victory as a company that in its investor relations documents talks about its participation in Chinese grand strategies. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, that's how these companies work. I mean, so these are the entities that one must go after if one's serious.
There is right now networking from Huawei used in some American infrastructure. I mean, shouldn't that be just torn down, pulled out? Why would we have Huawei, which is a tool of the Chinese Communist Party for surveillance, in any of our networks, Jonathan? I mean, you write this in The Decisive Decade. Tell us how you would advise the United States to respond to all of this.
I would start with economic strike packages against the entire civil military fusion and, you know, CCP-aligned corporate base. I mean, you could do a whole lot right there. The companies that are in Russia, the companies that are in Iran, and the companies that participate in human rights atrocities and civil military fusion. I mean, we can target these things. We learned how to do that with Huawei. We never finished the job, but we could. And I think that's actually relatively low-hanging fruit. I mean, the target list is very obvious. The sanctions packages are all, I think, pretty well established at this point. The issue there would be that they would be retaliating against our companies, which they are going to do anyway and eventually, which is why our leaders are going to need to get their businesses out of China as fast as they can before all the big stuff happens. Right.